Tell the real nah. What I was saying is, I believe in that, bro. Like I believe that God recognized sacrifices. You feel what I'm saying? Like when you sacrificing, I mean when you sacrificing, shit that is pleasurable to you. You know what I mean? When you fasting, basically, I believe that's what fasting is. You know what that is? What fasting is, right? Like
Definitely.
abstaining from certain things, like showing God, like what I mean, I'm abstaining this. So I try to go on that route. You know what I mean? And
Yep. That's definitely what it represents. And you get, like parts of the Bible where Jesus walked the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. And was it 40 days and 40 nights? No, no,
yeah,
no. Was it?
yeah, no, it was, yeah,
All right, well, so that's the belief too, because Muslims believe in that too. Like, if Jesus can do that without consuming nothing, what makes you better than Jesus? And with Islam, we always be like too, like Ramadan is not just about fasting from food from sun up to sundown. Ramadan is about giving up your what would you call like your vices, like like how if a nigga smokes cigarettes, we might not be asking you to fast food and liquid wise sun up to sundown. Give up something that's dear to you, whether you recognize it's dear to you or not. If you spend your money on cigarettes and you just smoking the motherfuckers, and you a nigga that's constantly saying all year, I could stop whenever I want to stop, but you ain't stopping. Doing Ramadan, kick that shit, nigga.
yeah,
Give God 30, get that shit up for 30 days for God. You give up something that you love. If you a nigga running around this motherfucker sticking your dick and everything, leave them bitches alone for 30 days and get your mind right. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
most definitely. Now that's what I when I do try to strengthen my relationship, strengthen my relationship with God. Unfortunately, most of the time, or damn near every time, it be when I'm in a crisis. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I want to change about myself, man. Is like how you just doing it just to do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just to like, I don't know if that's your intentions. You know what I mean? To fast for God or whatever, or showing discipline or whatever. But I want to do it like on some regular shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to be in a crisis. OG told me a long time ago, bro, if being in a crisis, the only way God could get your attention, he'll mess around and keep sending you through crisis. You feel what I'm saying? Or keep allowing you to go through crisis if that's the only way he can get your attention. You know what I'm saying? So, because like I say, when I'm in that situation where I try to abstain from cussing, from negative conversations, there's all type of shit, man. I just try to, I be I be aware of my actions. You know what I mean? I be aware of my actions.
Yeah,
So
God definitely recognizes discipline. And yeah, it's you don't need a reason. Like I've done this before without Ramadan. It ain't Ramadan right now. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Ramadan ain't till March. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And this was my plan to do this. I actually started doing it, and it's just going along with Ramadan coming up. But I actually started doing it because I would drink. I listened to my body. I would
mm,
drink alcohol, and I've been consuming so much of it for the past, little under a year, that I'll drink and I'm not feeling drunk. I just feel like
mm,
I'm drinking to be drinking.
mm,
And then to me, I feel like that's my body pushing it out. Like my body is rejecting it. Weed. I'm smoking to sleep instead of to enjoy it. I'm
yeah,
smoking weed and I'm buying more weed and having to smoke more of it to get to that level. To me, that's my body rejecting it. So when you listen to you listen to the signs of what your body telling you. You push the lust away and just listen to your body, follow your gut, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
kick that shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? And it ain't never gotta be. I just was telling somebody, like, I ain't here trying to tell nobody it's permanent, like I'm about to be around this motherfucker living like most deaf and no shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? Right now, that's what a nigga need to do. And shit, I get back to it when I get back to it. You know what I'm saying? But You gotta have some kind of discipline about self shit. I was riding the bike tonight, nigga.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, it's you know what I mean. It's but it's good. It's good to yourself too. You know what I mean? For you personally, knowing because as a man, should nothing conquer you. You know what I mean? Should nothing be able to control you. You know what I mean? So whatever you got going on, you should be able to be like, let me stop. If I want to stop, I'll be able to stop. You know what I mean? So I feel like, yeah, as a man, you should want to be able to have, control over your life. Anyway, man, you seen that shit, bringing up Most Def. You seen that shit with Most Def. How do you feel about this, man? How when he was like, in a couple, and ever since Most Def brought up this conversation, I've been hearing this a lot. How do you feel about people saying, the reason they say Drake not hip hop is because he don't speak on issues, like he don't speak on what's going on in the world, and Bootleg Kev made a comment today that I heard he had Lance, I think that's his name, right? The black dude from TMZ.
Yeah.
Him on there. Man, I love that dude too, man. I love to have him on the Get Down one day. But he Bootleg Kev brought up a point like he don't know nothing about Drake. You know what I mean? Like he don't know what his stands on life. Like he don't know shit about. You know what I mean? I wouldn't necessarily say I agree with that because a lot of times, let me keep it real. A lot of times, people make these comments about Drake. They don't really be Drake fans. They be the type of people that listen to singles. You know what I mean? Or listen to what's just the big songs. They don't be people that really listen to Drake albums. Then you would get people saying like, "Oh, Drake ain't really a rapper. He an R&B singer," or Drake don't indulge or whatever. But how do you feel about that? People saying that Drake not hip hop because he don't discuss hard topics or world issues in his music.
I mean, I said this before. I think these old ass niggas need to just shut the fuck up. I feel like hip hop is what MC means move the crowd.
Yeah.
And I think them old ass niggas forget about that. I think them old ass niggas forget about that the beginning of rap, them niggas was trash compared to what we call lyrical today.
Yeah.
I think the niggas forget about, the beat, the corny ass bebopping and all that shit them niggas was doing, which I know in that time period, that's what they enjoyed. That shit look corny to us now. You know what I mean? To me, hip hop is an expression. Now I will say, I always say this. Drake can rap hip hop and he probably can do it better than most. He like top 5 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that I don't like to give him credit for hip hop because I want a body of work, and then I'll say greatest hip hop album I ever heard. But their reason, because he doesn't speak on issues, man. Hip hop is an expression. If the Migos drop, I've never been a fan of the Migos, but if the Migos drop something and these motherfuckers is rapping 12 or 13 songs on the album and it influenced the world, that's hip hop to me. If they ain't never got to speak on no black issues, none of that shit, everybody's not on no political shit. Everybody wasn't raised being political. Some niggas come from a different kind of struggle to where, like some niggas has come from environments where they ain't seen no enemies but niggas who look like them.
Mm-hmm.
Some niggas ain't never been chased down by no white man. Some of these niggas never been through no police brutality. Everybody's struggle ain't your struggle. So when they say that shit about Drake, he's a Jewish kid from Toronto. What the fuck is he supposed to speak on?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not his realities. And then if he speak on shit like that, they gonna call him fake when they hear his opinion. He's fucking Jewish. What you want him to say?
Yeah. They compared him. They compared him to Jordan. Like that was Jordan outlook, where he was like, everybody buy my shoes, not just black people. You know what I mean? So Jordan never wanted to take, a political stance on nothing. And like I say, it goes back to Kyrie. You know what I mean? Go back to Kyrie. So what do we want? Do we want Kyrie's or do we want a nigga that's okay? Like I'm gonna say it again. I believe leisure time is important, especially for men. Like I say, nigga, the world is on our shoulders. The world is on our shoulders. So when we do get time to kick back, and it's been like that, nigga, since the ancient times, fool, since the Spartans, nigga, they had war all day, but they still had leisure time. They had time to themselves that you needed. You feel what I'm saying? So, if music should be a part of your leisure time, music don't gotta motivate you all the time, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Some people don't want to listen to music to motivate them. You feel me? Some people want to listen to music to shake their ass. Some people want to listen to music for whatever reason it may be. But everybody not listening to their favorite artist to see to hear their political stands. That's not everybody's forte. You feel me? Some people want to hear him rap about the women. Some people want to hear about him, be on these fuck the hoes type shit. Like, that's what because I'm a nigga. Like, that don't do nothing for me. Like, that's cool. I'm more so about rapping. Like, if you got bars, you got bars. You feel me? But I'm not like, I've never liked the artist because he gives so much of himself. Like, I just know everything about this nigga. That's why I love this nigga. I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he always says this. He's totally against like shit like Mos Def said. Like, he ain't hip hop because he don't speak on these black social issues and shit. Farrakhan always say this: they don't need to. They don't need to. That's why you have the Farrakhan's. That's why you have the Brother Rizza Islams. That's why you have the 19 Keys. That's why you have the Dr. Umars. Why do we look for people that really don't even probably qualify to speak for us? Let them do what they do, because even during the civil rights movement, you didn't have people like Sam Cooke running around preaching like Martin Luther King, being the leader of a civil rights. They made music that felt good so people can forget about what was going on in them times. And I feel like people like Drake, we get to listen to Drake, whether he's singing or rapping, and we get to feel good. We get to feel like that shit don't exist for a minute. We get to, be in the presence of women and hear some Drake bars and push up on baby and say some of that shit.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear Drake talking about power to the people. That's what we got Brother Rizza Islam for. That's what we got Dr. Umar for. What I will say is, like Farrakhan say, these superstars, they do make enough money off of the black dollar where I think they should invest in the people that speak for us. I think they should do that, and some of them actually do. We don't know where Drake puts money at behind closed doors. So when niggas like Mos Def coming out talking like, nigga, we don't even know where you at, nigga.
Yeah, on the real.
Like, nigga, you at, nigga? Like, you
on the real. Look, wasn't they trying to keep you in Africa for a minute? They weren't even trying to let you come back to America. And he was really stuck in Africa. They wouldn't let the nigga leave.
Man, that nigga.
Why they love him so much?
Nah, he had did some bullshit.
Oh,
sometimes
I'm gonna bring it up next time.
So sometimes, we always talk about this. Sometimes people get J-catted out because they get too much information, and it's like a base head hitting a rock for the first time. The biggest blast he can ever have. And sometimes when people get this information, nigga, they get catted out because of that shit. They want everybody to be on some black power shit. Like, but bro, that's not realistic. He's a Jewish kid from Canada. Let him live. Shit.
Unreal. And even if he was a ghetto kid from Chicago, nigga, if that's not what he want to rap about, bro, that's not what he want to rap about, bro. What happened to hip hop being freedom of expression? How was it freedom of expression if I gotta talk about what you want me to talk about? That's not freedom of expression. So it's a lot of contradictories, you know what I mean? Like I said, within that shit, you know, I like we was having this conversation a while ago. I think these dudes that wasn't able to be commercially successful, they gatekeep the term hip hop because that's all they got. You feel what I'm saying? That's all they got. They wasn't able to make the millions and millions of dollars. Like everybody was so worked up where academics said, when he meet hip hop greats, they broke. He like all the greatest of all time. When I meet them, they broke. You feel me? And everybody had something to say about that shit. Even LL Cool J, you know, LL Cool J don't know nothing about shit. Yeah. But he came out and said something about that. And though I do agree with it that, you know, you can't quantify the impact that somebody had by the money they have. You feel what I mean? Because at the beginning of it, you know, it was a time in hip hop where, you know, the get money niggas that became popular. That wasn't what hip hop was based off of. You feel me? Like, or probably like around when, like 98, 97, 98, 99, when Jay-Z and them and Mercedes and all type of shit like that, when that shit got popping. But that wasn't the core of hip hop, you know. So a lot of these dudes was really making music for the art. Like a lot of these legends, these originators, bro, they was doing this shit at parties and DJing and shit like that. So you can't say that. So I do agree with that you can't take away what they brought to the game simply because they don't got the, they didn't get the money for it, you know. But at the same time, why isn't it a penchant for hip hop? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's why these dudes is mad. I think that's why these dudes is mad, because they broke. You feel what I mean? They broke. Into them, they are the essence of what this shit is, man. And like I say, I just don't believe if Mos Def would have came out with a "Baby You're My Everything" and that shit would have took off, that he wouldn't have accepted that role. Basically, what I'm saying, if he was able to switch positions with Drake, I just don't believe he wouldn't, bro. Like as an artist, that's like you saying you a basketball player, but nigga, you could be a player that never got in the game, or you can be Jordan. Come on, my nigga, you gonna want to be Jordan. You feel me? And since you not Jordan, what you gonna do, nigga? You go like the sour apple shit, nigga, like the snake. You know, if the snake couldn't get to the apple, so he started talking shit about it. You feel me? Oh, rotten apple, I don't want that apple anyway, nigga, because you couldn't get it. You
okay? The birth of hip hop is clearly, you know, New York. It came from New York. That's where it started at. So, you know, I think everywhere we always have to pay homage to it being created there. And, you know, Fat Joe and a few other people, you know, expressed that it hip hop didn't even start with the rhyme. Hip hop started with the drum and the breakdancing.
Yeah.
Started with the drum and with the breakdancing, and then the bebopping, and then the lyrics came to it. And the lyrics was never that intense. The lyrics was who can style better on each other the most on stage over the beat. That's what the lyrics was. So when you really think about it, like how Drake be styling, that is the true essence of hip hop. Them niggas, that next generation, them niggas made it a conscious game. You got to remember, New York is probably one of the most black religious places in the country. You got some of everything. You got the Christians, you got the Muslims, you got stuff like the birth of the 5%ers there. You got these new African movements. You got all kind of shit. And in New York, they take that shit more serious probably than any other place. That's why they always said that Harlem, you know, was at one point the strongest black city in America. And I have to say that their conscious roots is what birthed that type of hip hop there. But when hip hop spreads, you get LA gangster rap. Our birth for hip hop ain't they birth for hip hop.
Facts.
Our birth for hip hop is gangster rap. When you go to Chicago, their birth of hip hop is not the same. It's kind of more backpack rap, and then you had the new wave of drill music that came. But you know, when people like Mos Def talk, that's your city's birth of hip hop. You can't look at a nigga from Canada and think, you know, he's supposed to be, you know, a reflection of what your hip hop was. He's from Canada. He's actually creating, he's setting the bar there for the artists there. That's why we get the Tory Lanez and all these niggas. Drake is their example because they didn't grow up with a nigga on the corner, all that shit. They didn't grow up with that. We acknowledge it because we know, you know, that's part of the beginning, but that's not everybody birth for hip hop. I know about it. I didn't grow up around that shit though. My birth.
So do you think that because I have heard a conversation, you know, I think I heard Eazy-E and Dr. Dre talking about this shit, that when they start rapping, that, you know, a lot of dudes wasn't fucking with them because they was like into like, you know, Kumo D type shit like that, you know, and this on the West Coast,
right?
You know, like, so do you think that before we had our own style of hip hop that we used to listen to their shit out? We used to listen to their shit, or do you think that we didn't even really get into hip hop until we start doing our own?
No, I believe it was being listened to, but shit, when it's the only thing there, you know what I mean, it's no choice. But then when somebody comes out and got something that's more relatable to you, it's like you like, I fuck with this. This, you know, this nigga rapping about what my uncles do. You know what I'm saying? This niggas dressing in their videos like how niggas dress when I go outside. You know, the music is there and you ain't got no choice. But if it's the only outlet is the New York music, of course we're gonna listen to it. Shit, we ain't finna go listen to punk rock and heavy metal. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it could be an argument that we listen to oldies, because when you look at you know, when you hear the stories of Tookie and, you know, these old Crips, you know what I mean? Like, you hear that they was listening to oldies, you know what I mean? And then when you get even old cholos, like if you go to an oldies concert right now, you go see older black women and cholos, essays.
Yeah,
that's what you're gonna see. They love that shit. You know what I mean? And that's LA culture. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the essays is LA culture. You know, I think
that effect though of you know, of us listening to oldies, I don't believe that was just here. Even in New York, if you go back to the Paid in Full movie when Ace was in the Cleaners and before, you know, Mr. Pip came in and Ace was in there by himself. And I think he was listening to some hip hop shit on the radio. He working, doing his thing. Mr. Pip coming there, Ace, what I tell you, turn this boobity hip hop shit. I don't listen. I don't want this shit played in my store. I think all people, you know, hip hop was fairly new. So I think everybody was listening to fucking oldies. You know what I
mean? Yeah. Especially around that time, because you think about it, shit, nigga. When did that nigga Tookie, I think Tookie went to the pen in what, 76?
Right.
Yeah, so niggas probably wasn't even, niggas probably just started rapping back then. You feel me?
Yeah, so what nobody, it was something new and it had to grow. Now I think by the time the 90s came, like I said, shit, we adapted our own style already. You know, I remember growing up, you know, in the 90s and seeing videos come on the box. These niggas look like what I seen when I came outside. I related to that more than the Mos Defs, the Commons, and all that shit. Then, you know, they hit one out the park sometime that we fuck with, but you know, we related more to, you know, just like how right now ain't no Chicago nigga talking about turn on that YG. They listen to they drill music because it's a reflection of, you know, what they see in the environment.
Yeah. I say, man, I think it's more so. But I do think it's more diverse now than, you know, of course, than it was back then, due to the fact of the internet. So, you know, you probably do got, you know, a segment of YG fans out there. Is the BPS's Bloods in Chicago?
I don't think so. I've seen a lot of different shit about that, and I don't think they are. They just Black Peace Stone Nation. I think the ones here have tried to, even though they've always been Bloods, I think they have tried to adopt some of the terms that the ones in Chicago use. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I don't think they Bloods at all. You know, Chicago niggas don't believe in banging blood and crip and all that shit.
Yeah. I said, to me, especially when when motherfuckers get to downplaying the Bloods and Crips, like, oh man, we don't bang colors out here, like, bro, like it don't matter what you going to war for, bro. Like I said, I think it's just a cop out to and so LA niggas, you know what I mean? But a lot of that shit, man, like it was this dude. He was on No Jumper, man. He was on No Jumper, and he from somewhere else, and I can't remember. He was talking about how he ran into Charleston White, and Charleston White was gonna pepper spray him or some shit like, but he didn't do matter. He wanted Sauce Walker people. I don't know if you seen that shit, but he said he ran up to Charleston White and said, "Keep Nip name out your mouth." You feel me? Basically, he was telling his story about how he came up and how he started a gang and he was the lead. He became the leader of the gang, and I'm like, my nigga, that's not a gang, bro. Them is you and your friends. You feel what I'm saying? Them is you and your friends, bro. That's your crew, my nigga. You feel what I mean? I think eliminating the Crip and the Blood is eliminating the structure, and it's just it's like being able to come with your own political party. I don't want to be Republican. I don't want to be Democrat. I'm going to just be this. Well, nigga, you just that, because you're not going to be recognized. Nigga, you ain't going to ever be the president. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I said, I just, let me add this nigga, man.
I think I think the Bloods and the Crip have the most dominant gang structure. Niggas can talk that, the Chicago and what they got in other places. But even when you hear about, the penitentiaries and the shit that's allowed, when you hear about the feds and shit, and you hear about these different federal penitentiaries all over the country, you hear about the DC niggas, being strong, but you don't hear about, it being sectioned off like these DC niggas holding this down. It's just DC niggas. When you hear about the Chicago niggas and they go on the feds, the Chicago niggas. When you hear about LA niggas, they're gonna be like, oh, don't you go to Lompoc, you know what I mean? The Hoovers got the yard right now. You go to Colorado to Florence, the 60s got the yard right now. So, I think the structure of our gangs just hold more weight throughout the country than theirs do. You got LA gangs that have migrated and recruited all throughout the country and even out the country, and they organizing with each other now. When the GD and the BD shit is just still all over the place with a bunch of confusion all over the country because there's no connection. Our shit is more like in place, more structure, more rules, more accountability when it comes to shit.
But wouldn't you say that the GDs got more chapters than any other gang?
I don't think so. I don't think nothing is bigger than the Crips.
I don't know, bro. I think that's because it's GDs everywhere but LA. You feel what I'm saying? It's GDs everywhere but LA, huh?
Them niggas in Orange County.
Some GDs?
Yeah, they got GDs in Orange County.
Yeah, they ain't LA. You feel me? Because they ain't going to LA County.
No, but the reason why I say the Crips is because anything you could think of, you got Crips in movies. You got Crips. You just got famous Crips. Period.
No. You right. As far as popularity, you feel what I'm saying? I mean, of course, nigga, Crips was the first organized black structure as far as gang banging. So of course, it's go when you think of gang banging, you go think of Crips. You feel what I'm saying? All the other shit go come.
I mean, you go to New York, and just like you got Trey Gangsters and 60s.
But it was GDs before it was Crips and Bloods in New York.
No, it was, as far as history wise, they've been throughout the states before we was. But right now, in current time, I think the Crips are the most dominant. You can go to different states, and we've actually occupied, you know, whole areas. You can go to, just like you got, like I was gonna say, just like you have the X-ray gangsters in the 60s, you know, enemies, and our sections are solidified. This ain't going nowhere. Ain't nothing gonna change. You can go to New York, and the homies have a whole project, and the 60s have a whole project, a whole. It's not like it's spread it out like it's some Crips in New York. In New York, you can be like, I'm going to the A-Trays, or I'm finna go drive through the 60s. And it's not just in New York, it's in places like Baltimore. It's all throughout the country now. You go to Georgia, you go to Georgia, and you go to Macon, Georgia. The whole city of Macon is gangster Crips, and nothing else is allowed in the city. You know what I mean? So I think when it comes to who spread it through the states, originally, it was GDs and Vice Lords. They was everywhere, and we was just predominantly here. But I think in today's time, nigga, we fucking everywhere and taking over everything. Yeah, you even got these some of these GDs dropping their forks and acting like they want to be Crips and shit now. Like you ain't got
you see, that's what the light skinned boy did. He said he was from GD. Now he from Two Ends.
Like we the most the Crips are the most influential gang of all time. Ain't nothing bigger than the Crips.
What was that? The YM what's them? They had the singer nigga. They had a bunch of. It was like 4 of them. YM
had the singer nigga.
he was the most popular one. Once he left the group, it kind of like fell off after that.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I keep thinking Shoreline Mafia, but it's not Shoreline Mafia. It's the light skinned nigga with dreadlocks, and he the one. Like I said, he not nobody nigga. Nigga was famous as fuck. You feel me? And the nigga went, and they had the nigga on live, asked him about it, like, you used to be from GDs? He this close. He like, yeah. That shit had a nigga dying. You feel me? They got that nigga on live. That nigga banging. He dissing and rolling and all that. I'm like, man, this nigga don't even know what he doing. What he might do. I ain't gonna take that from him, man.
That's why I get these celebrities
on no jumper all the time
from different countries wanting to get put on Bloods and Crips out here.
Right.
But then again, it's probably for protection as well. But
except from different countries.
Not countries.
The influence. Look what the influence is doing to niggas. I remember at a point in time when you would see like out of town niggas wanting to be Bloods or Crip. You would look at them and be like, they way off. Then you see niggas on no jumper, like what's his name? Maxo Cream, whatever his name is. He from Hoover in Houston. I think his name Maxo Cream or some shit. Chunky nigga, man. But like his whole demeanor, if he didn't have an accent and you didn't know he was from Houston, that nigga act like the Hoovers just from here. Like he got the whole like it's down packed. Like you really can't tell that he act just like one of them niggas.
Who you talking about?
I think his name Maxo Cream or some shit. Maxo Cream. The nigga, he from Hoover in Houston. And he a rapper. He done been on no job.
Oh, the big nigga.
Yeah, cuz it's turned up.
He say he don't gang bang no more.
Everybody say that when they want the money.
Yeah. He say, but he say he really dropped his flag. They was asking about the gay Crip in Houston. What was the boy name? I forgot. I was about to say Tyrone Biggums.
That boy, man.
Trey know his number. Like, let me call him and ask him about that.
That's the one C-Mac interviewed?
Yeah.
Huh? The one C-Mac interviewed?
Yeah.
You watched this whole interview, huh?
All right, yeah, man. Make it with the news. Unreal. Pennsylvania man arrested after allegedly killing his father and displaying his decapitated head on YouTube. In a video, which has been removed, Justin Moan says his father was a federal employee and, and refers to him as a traitor while voicing right-wing conspiracy theories. A Pennsylvania man has been arrested after allegedly killing his father. On the real, I just said that. Justin Moan, 32, is accused of killing his father, Michael Moan. Police told NBC News while police did not release the victim age, public record shows the father was 68. Look, Pete, Moan was taken into custody 100 miles away from the scene on suspicion of first-degree murder, abuse of a corpse, possession of an instrument of crime with intent, according to the court docu released earlier. Bro, look, this shit get crazy. He was arraigned at 4 a.m., denied bail in Middletown Township Police Department. In the YouTube, look, this what happened on the YouTube. And they say the video was up for a while before it got took down. You feel me? It's in the YouTube video, which was titled Moan Militia Call to Arms for American Patriots, and is cited in a police complaint. Moan is seen wearing gloves and holding his father's head in a plastic bag. Later, the head can be seen in a cooking pot. Moan says his father was a federal employee for 20 years and referred to him as a traitor, calling for the death of all federal officials and attacking President Joe Biden administration, the Black Lives Matter movement, the LGBTQ community, and the Antifa activists. YouTube removed the video, which is more than 14 minutes long after it was posted. On the red, and they say, like in a statement, YouTube spoke said the video was taken down because of strict policies prohibiting graphic violence and violent extremes. Like, no shit. But yeah, on the real, it go into it. It go into it a little more, bro. But yeah, man. Said the boy cut off his pop's head. It was and plan and threaten, all the but like I say, that's bullshit. Of course, that's bullshit, and it's it's extremist. Of course, it's always gonna be extremist in every situation. You know what I mean? So he not right for what he did. Attacking the Black Lives Matter movement and the LGBTQ. It just make a nigga think like, are we snapping? You know what I mean? Like, are we really getting tired of the bullshit that they really trying to force on us? And is this gonna be a one-off, or is this gonna be something that's just gonna start happening? You know what I mean? Because you already had the what was it called? The transgenocide they was trying to press. You know what I mean about transgenders getting targeted, getting beat, getting whatever it may be. So are we get to a point that we tired of this propaganda? You know what I mean? Because that was just Pops. You feel me? That was the boy Pops.
Either he lost his goddamn mind, or he's sitting there and his thoughts exploded. Yeah, but no, that's shit. That's white people shit. But that don't sound like it's a possibility. That nigga wasn't crazy. Shit. You know what I mean? Shit. He might know something we don't know. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, or shit. He know what we all know. You know what I mean? He know that we all know that this is proper. That this shit is propaganda, bro. That this shit is bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we talk about this shit all the time. I don't give a fuck about a nigga lifestyle or how a nigga want to push, whatever it may be. Do your shit. But, it's just the outright blatant, you know what I mean? The blatant disrespect of, of the man. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Because when I say this shit, because like I say, I don't be really knowing what the left wing and the right wing, like I don't really be knowing them terms like that. But when you get the name in certain organizations, I know who that is, bro. And that, that's the Democratic Party, bro. That's the Democrats, bro. Like what black people is taught that's who we supposed to follow. Nigga, growing up, nigga, I played for the LA Demos. Nigga, I was a nigga was screaming Democrat before a nigga even knew what the fuck it was. You know what I mean? That's just what it is in the black community. You feel me? And when the I forget what the boy was saying, right? I forget what the not I forget what he said, but I forget his name. But he had a judge show or whatnot. But was that him? I forgot. It might not have been him, but basically what he was saying is black people have been taught to just vote Democrat, or whatever.
Right.
And if you look at it in hindsight, bro, what has the Democratic Party done for us?